Welcome to Who Put This On, Season 3, Episode 8, where we watch Chrisley Knows Best, Season 6, Episode 1, then followed by Season 1, Episode 1. I'm Chris Lorenz.
Brian Houston.
I'm Harrison Hoffman.
And Noah Singer.
So this was recommended to us on Twitter today by Once Over Doc. I hate you. Thank you. I just want to let you know that I hope you don't watch the show.
But you should follow us on Twitter.
I hope, for your sake of sanity, I hope you don't watch the show.
There you go.
What are your thoughts about the show, Chris?
Top third, middle third, bottom third.
5-star show.
I guarantee you it's going to be 4 bottoms. 100%. Like, not even close. Harrison, give me the description on this one.
USA Network's hit reality series Chrisley Knows Best follows the shenanigans of outspoken helicopter parent Todd Chrisley and his over-the-top Southern family, which includes his loving wife Julie and their charming outspoken children Lindsay, Chase, Savannah, and Grayson.
There's no granddaughter in that description.
That is true. I mean, we can get. We can get to the granddaughter.
I
like the granddaughter.
No, she's great.
Before we get into this a little bit, I think this is a topic Brian wants to talk about, is like how fake this show is.
Yeah.
Quite fake.
This is definitely is this a reality show though?
I feel like it's not necessarily fake, but it's very like all the segments are set up. I don't think they're given lines.
They are 100% given lines. Like, everything's a goddamn zinger.
Sometimes I think they're given lines, and sometimes I don't think they are.
Do you think they have that Southern charm down pat like that?
Oh, yeah.
Dude, that's
how you sell houses.
Like, you need Archer-level wit to pull this shit off.
Yeah, like, I was pretty high level.
I mean, I'll give it to you. There's definitely some times where I think that they're given lines, but I think that it's more just like produced segment and not necessarily like a written segment.
I mean, like,
Chris, look at the 3 quotes that you have. The first episode, and tell me that entire segment didn't rely on those 3.
Yeah, good call, Brian.
I mean, I think it's certainly possible that the writing, like, the way that I imagine that the show works is like, they're like, okay, we're going to shoot for 30 minutes in the kitchen, and we want you guys to talk about, like, what you guys want to do this weekend, and just kind of banter for a little bit, and we'll shoot it for a while. Maybe we'll write some one-liners for the dad, because he has to have those one-liners.
Yeah.
And, yeah, I mean...
Do you think he could actually be good at one-liners, though?
It's possible. Like, it's possible.
Especially, like, when you're on the TV show and you're just trying to get more one-liners. Like, you hiring a one-liner writer? Like, what are you doing?
Here's something that was kind of weird, though. Like, I felt like his one-liners were a lot crisper in Season 1 than Season 6. Like, I don't know if you noticed that at all. Like, I feel like he was getting in there with the zingers a lot more.
I think they just passed off the writer to, like, grandma. That had to have been it.
The one thing I got to say, though, the smoothness of his delivery of the one-liners does make him seem authentic, or at least very well trained in acting.
Yeah.
I mean, I wrote down some one-liners, like "work it like your honeymoon."
But
it was one of the one-liners.
Who was that?
You're gonna have to explain the context.
Yeah, I know. I'm just saying, like, that was one of his one-liners. I don't know what's riding harder, you or the pantyhose.
Yep.
Which was. The context for these are the mother and him go to a doctor's appointment, and he's just giving these one-liners to his mother.
His mother, yeah.
Yeah, his 73-year-old mother.
And I guess
these lines were very sexual.
Yeah.
Quite sexual.
And
so we can talk about this whole grandma part of the show if we want to.
I don't know if we want to go over. Harrison, I think you need to tell me what the show is first.
Okay, I mean, this is one of those shows where, like, they have discovered a group of seemingly interesting people and have just decided to make a reality show about their lives, basically.
Yeah.
And this dude made a bunch of money in real estate or something like that, and this is the show about how he runs his family, basically. Theoretically.
Okay.
Yep.
There you go.
So... just family drama show, essentially.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a family drama show.
Not like Bold and the Beautiful drama, but
yeah. It's that's more real than the show is.
So the plot lines through the first episode we watched was season 6, episode 1.
Yep.
Was this grandma going to the doctor.
Yep.
And then having to work out.
Yeah.
Essentially. There's like weird, stupid stuff with like trainer and not trainer, whatever.
Which I want to get
yeah,
into.
we're going to get it.
I want to get into
in the minutia
that.
segment, we're going to get into
I'm
that.
just stating that I want to get into it.
And then what other... We've got the granddaughter...
The granddaughter's
is
birthday.
having a birthday party. And there's some sort of quote-unquote competition for the best...
Like entertainment for the party.
Entertainment/gift.
Yep.
Yeah, it's basically who's gonna win the party.
And was there any other through line for that episode?
Those were the big ones, I think.
And then the season 1, episode 1, the through lines are... Well, we got to get into them in the minutia, but essentially they're like trying to open up this new store. So there's a lot of like conversations about that. And there's a lot of conversations about how the dad won't let the daughter or son go on a date with somebody or go do something.
It's not even a date. It's just going out.
Yeah, I don't know.
It seems like they basically wanted to use the first episode to showcase the dynamics between like the parents and the kids and like how controlling he is. And
yeah, that seemed to be the through line. I don't think there's any other things going on.
That's pretty much it.
So now we can get back to the minutia.
Finally.
As we get so close to talking about the minutia.
Okay.
So we should definitely talk about this mom. She's like the best character on the show.
I was about to say, like, it's a hot take, but it's not a hot take that the grandma's the best character on this whole show.
Oh, yeah.
She's great. She seems like she's pretty authentic. Yeah. I mean, that seems...
I feel like she's the only one that I feel feels authentic.
Yeah, for sure.
All the other people, like, have whiter teeth than the white paint in my apartment. And that's insane because it just clashes so much with just they're not like they're still like really white people, but they're like their teeth are so white. The contrast is crazy.
Oh yeah,
the kids are authentic.
Yeah,
the little kids.
Yeah,
not
I mean, but they're
like 15.
They're authentic, but bad authentic. Like I'm
the
just
5-year-olds.
Yeah, I don't.
No, I like the granddaughter. So the grandmother and the granddaughter are like the two best people.
Okay.
Yeah.
Since you brought up the granddaughter,
we got to crack it
Who
open.
the hell is the mother of this child?
So I was being kind of bad and Googling a little bit while we were watching this show.
This is definitely you're on your phone. Like I'm sorry.
I kind of picked up a bunch of random information. One of the random pieces of information I picked up is so there was this guy. I don't know what his name is, so I'm just gonna call him Eric for right now. Who shows up in season 1, episode 1, and we're like. And it says, like whatever Chrisley's son, and we're like, who the fuck is that guy?
Yeah, I remember that. He was on the show for like 30 seconds.
And like he was on the show for 30 seconds to basically say like, I don't know, I think I got to get away for a little bit and figure my life out, basically.
Yeah.
And apparently that's kind of what happened. So like this guy is estranged from the family, and this girl is his daughter. That he is like, I'm not sure what this guy's deal is currently, but he's not taking care of that kid. So the grandpa's taking care of it.
The mother of the child is just not taking care of it, nor is the father.
Yeah, both parents seem to be out of the picture for some reason.
Right.
That is, I mean, almost at that point, it's weird to call them your granddaughter. At that point, it's like.
Yeah, I mean, like he's
still their granddaughter.
I mean, like he has like apparently like according to what I read, like he has full custody of that girl now. Like so, something crazy is going on.
That's
there.
why I was like, it's so crazy that there's no mother, there's no father.
Yeah.
She didn't say mom. Like you think you'd call them? So she has no one to call mom or dad essentially in her life right now.
It's not great.
She's like, Dad, you're such a loser. Mom, you're equally a loser.
Yep.
Like
at least she has a good home now.
No. I mean, she has a good home. That's great.
Yeah.
But it's very confusing while watching the show.
No doubt.
Because they start out, I guess, as we talk about the minutia, they start out season 6. They don't freaking explain anything.
But that's fair.
In episode 1, they didn't explain anything in season 1, episode 1 either.
Well, no. There's like, we used to be poor. Now we got a bunch of money. Look at this house and all our kids. I'm a crazy person.
But they use the show.
Was like all the tee up.
They use the show and the character dynamics to like tell you what's up.
Sure.
Right. Like usually the reality shows are pretty spoon fed in the beginning. on establishing your characters?
I mean, I kind of get it. Season 1, right? Like season 1, I feel like I kind of understood what was going on. There wasn't anything complicated. But season 6, I'm like, who is this? Who is this dog? Like, they don't do like a hey catch up minute segment or something that like is super quick that gets you in. Like they're trying to get new viewers. Noah, like if I watched that episode, which I did, and I'm not, but like you're not going to continue on because you're like, who are these? Like, who is that person? They never explain it.
They got their base. They know what they're doing.
I mean, it's fine if you have 2 million views and that's all the viewers you want.
Yeah.
Like ever.
But you think a season 5 recap is gonna
Not
get
a season
people
5
in
recap. I
6?
just want you to like explain more about the people. And like, as I guess season 1, there was another daughter that was on the show that's not in season 6 at all and not mentioned. And they also have a kid.
Yeah, she had a kid.
Yeah.
Savannah.
No, Savannah.
Oh,
is
Savannah's
the
the
girl,
younger one.
Yeah.
Yeah, Savannah was in both.
Okay.
It was the one that was older.
The older. Yeah, no, I just forgot her name.
I don't know.
I
her
thought the
name
older was
either.
Savannah. So
back to
the minutia of the grandma.
Back to the
Okay.
grandmother.
Yeah. So there's this whole storyline with the grandma where it's like Barry's his name, right? Is that his name?
I don't know.
Barry.
Todd, not
It's
Barry.
Todd
Klug?
Chrisley.
Todd Chrisley. So
Chrisley.
Todd's basically like, okay, we gotta take you to the doctor for your yearly checkup because you haven't been to the doctor in a little bit.
No, that's not how he explains this. He says like you gotta get your blood pressure checked.
Yeah,
because
yeah.
that's what causes heart disease. So you gotta check it every year. And I'm like, she's 73. Should be checking that like
Every
on a
month.
weekly basis.
Yeah, like
But,
get
like,
on that.
You should be, yeah. Like, I mean,
like, and if it's high, you should be checking it like daily or hourly.
like,
Yeah.
but also like he kind of like. One of the funny parts about this is like he positioned the entire point of this yearly doctor visit to be to take her blood pressure, not to get like a full physical. But then when they went to the doctor, it seemed like that's all they did is they just took the blood pressure. Like, yeah, your blood pressure's a little high. You should probably, have a low fat diet and exercise a little bit. And then they just left, and like that was like her doctor visit for the year. It seemed like,
And that's where Todd slips in his little one-liners.
yeah,
About the honeymoon.
yeah, I mean, this
The
first
pantyhose.
one-liner was like, my mother's so old, she would just say put vinegar on anything, on something that hurts. But then he says, oh, if you do that, you'll just pickle it.
all I was gonna do is pickle it.
All I'll do is pickle it.
But you see what I'm saying? Like, see how hard it was to say that line? And you notice how smooth he was in giving that line? Which, either he's excellent at doing that, like saying one-liners, or it's authentic.
He does have pretty good delivery, but who knows how many times they shoot those shots.
This is definitely a thing of like, if this is a through line through the whole season, it's like she went to the doctor and they're usually like, you got high blood pressure, so we got to bring it into the season. So we're like, oh, we got to film that somehow. So they're just like,
Yeah.
let's fake this stupid thing over here.
Yeah.
So like they go to the doctor's office. They make her bike on the exercise bike for a little bit, and Todd makes a comment about his mother.
Yeah.
To ride that bike.
Work it like your honeymoon while she's on the like motorcycle on the bike thing, stationary bike.
Work it like your honeymoon.
Split the lily was said at some point in that conversation.
Oh, no. That's
That
when
was
they
later.
were
That was
training.
later, okay.
Yeah.
Sorry, my notes got a little mixed up because and I don't know what's riding harder, your pantyhose or you,
Yeah.
because her pantyhose was falling down.
Yeah. Making a bunch of weird comments about his mom. That continues for most of the show. So
Yeah.
now we transition into
Oh, wait. Before we transition away from the sexiness, the like weird relationship that they have.
I'm not transitioning away from that. It's a
okay.
continuation of it, but
Okay, go ahead.
Okay. So now they basically go home and Savannah decides to like, she's gonna help Grandma out with this whole fitness thing. So she brings in her personal trainer and like they're stretching out and like they're working out and like it's looking pretty good because Grandma was a little bit reluctant at first and now she's like into
She's
it.
got some fitness
She's getting
bands.
stretched out and like she's doing some things and like
Yep.
in the trainers like basically like helping her with some stretches and Todd walks in and he's like, I'll walk in, see your legs up in the air, and this guy over here, I'm not comfortable with this.
This
and
7-foot tall guy.
7 foot tall.
And so basically, he thinks that like this, and it is so clear that this trainer is not making moves on her at all. It is the most clear it could possibly be. But he flips out about it and fires this trainer because he thought he was like hitting on his mom, basically.
Yeah.
Which is so wild. Like, this is
And,
a trainer. He's young, good-looking guy, very fit, and he's helping an old woman stretch.
Him and Savannah.
Yeah,
he's worried
correct.
about him and his mom
and the grandma.
Which is this dude's already been Savannah's trainer for at least some amount of time, and like it doesn't make any sense to me because he seems like he's motivated to get her healthier. He's like he took her to the doctor when they were at the doctor. They're just like, hey, he's like, hey, you gotta try and eat better and exercise more or whatever. And then she's doing it, and all of a sudden he's like, get out of here.
This is why the show sucks, because it's all set up, but
Doesn't
it's
make
just
any
like
sense.
Right.
This thing, and then the next thing that happens, is that Todd comes in this ridiculous workout outfit, and I'm like,
wait. Before we get there, we just got to describe. This is where he says splitting the tulip.
Yeah.
Lily. Right. So
okay, I didn't remember where it was.
The mom is stretching. So the grandma's stretching. The trainer has her leg and is pushing the leg to get a good stretch. And Todd comments that his mom's legs reminds him of splitting the lily during a stretch. Too much. Too much, Todd.
Yeah, I feel like that was also set up. It's like, oh, if you go in this, like you do this, then it's like I could say this.
Splitting the lily.
That entire thing was definitely set up.
Yeah,
I just don't know. Like, this is what I'm like.
It's definitely set. They're working out in a small space in a living room.
Yeah,
No,
that is not the ideal place to do that.
I know the whole scene is set up, but I'm just wondering how much of it is written versus how much of it is just them just like in a situation.
I feel like they probably shot that 10 times.
Whatever.
it's possible.
Then the next thing that happens, Todd comes down in this like ridiculous looking outfit. Like it's like neon hoodie, but the sleeves are white, but the rest of it's neon.
He had a t-shirt on.
It's like a mesh thing going on, and he was like, there was a kitchen counter, and he kept putting his leg up on the counter. And his dick was just like right at the camera and right at his mom. Like, it was ridiculous.
He was trying to get a camel toe on the camera.
Oh,
it
my
was
God.
definitely broto.
Is that what that's called? Broto? Is that a real thing?
That's what I'm calling it.
That's a great name.
Coin that term.
Yeah, you better coin that.
Yeah, that's hashtag it. Gotta get that trending.
Put that shit on Twitter.
Hashtag Broto.
Is that like then I guess after he fails at working out with his mom, essentially.
Yeah, so now his mom, because he couldn't deal with this trainer working her out, she's gonna die of heart disease because can't exercise because this guy's an idiot.
Very fatalistic.
And then, there's this shitty scene, and then he like relents and calls the trainer back, and then they have the scene about her like working out with the trainer and him working out with the trainer in the park.
Yeah, which is one common theme where it seems like because Todd is such a helicopter or controlling person that it's okay if people do the things they want to do as long as he comes along.
Yeah, I mean, that's definitely a big thing.
That's what he says a lot in season 1.
Right, like connecting the dots, right? It seems like he just doesn't trust any person anywhere, ever.
No, he just needs to be involved. That's
I mean,
it.
I will say that, like, I felt the helicopterness a lot more in season 1 than I did in season 6. It seemed like a lot of the time in season 6, like, the mom was really the one, like, in control of things and laying down the law and trying to rein in Todd. And in season 1, that didn't seem to be the case. It was like Todd is like, I'm running this ship.
Well,
you're doing what I'm saying.
Called...
I'm tracking all your cars and phones and computers. Like he definitely seemed like he was a lot more.
He calls the show Chrisley Knows Best. So
He does.
like you assume it's about him
Knowing best.
Yeah.
but it is ambiguous.
And season 6 is, you're right, like he's not in charge really at all. It's all the mom is
Yeah,
the one.
he's
like,
just
making all these decisions.
he's just clowning around everywhere, and she's just trying to rein in his bullshit.
Yeah.
Well, I feel like the mom. So we can transition to the other storyline in this.
Okay.
Like, I feel like the mom might like the granddaughter more than he does. Like, I feel like she's more into the situation than he is.
The birthday party.
Not the birthday party in general. I mean, I don't want to. I hate to say this about a parent, but I'm just saying, like, I think that she's more of like the mother-daughter relationship there is stronger than the granddaughter father relationship. And then like this episode through line was mostly about her, so like it definitely made it seem like the mother was like more in charge than anything.
And like she was kind of, I kind of saw that same dynamic popping up a little bit with her and the son Grayson in the first season, because she kept on saying like Grayson's the love of my life, and every time she would say that, Todd would like roll his eyes and like so it was kind of like a weird dynamic. Like I was in my random internet researching, like I'd found out, I'm not sure which of the kids this is, but he had at least a couple of those kids with a prior wife, and I think that maybe Grayson might have been the first kid that he had.
Yeah,
with that
would
wife
make a lot of sense.
or something.
Got it.
It could be something like that.
So we never really mentioned all of the people on the show.
Yeah, it's
There's
a lot of kids.
Savannah, Grayson in season 6, and the granddaughter.
and the other son,
What was the other son's name?
the son who was getting in trouble for going to the football game. That guy.
What was his name?
I don't know his name, but that's
No
who
idea.
we're talking about.
Way to
yeah.
go, guys!
Yeah.
Rob? Where are you? We need you.
Spiky hair guy. We can
Right.
call him that if you want to.
Spiky guy.
Yeah.
Brian, you got the name?
Brian? Yeah.
Talking to the mic, Brian.
No, I don't.
One thing that stood out
Chase.
for me.
Chase.
Yeah.
Sorry. That's
Chase
it.
and
A
Grayson.
lot of cupcakes and muffins.
You were obsessed
Yeah.
with the cupcakes.
I just
we were watching the scene. It was in a coffee shop.
Yeah, they had 9
and
muffins.
there was this platter of muffins on the table.
They had a platter of muffins for 4 people.
And
What?
Noah's like, why the fuck do they have so many muffins?
Why do they have so many? Yeah.
Hey, does anyone else see how many muffins they have? I mean, my guess is that this coffee shop was just like, oh, you guys are shooting a TV show in here? Let me put out a nice platter of our stuff here for you to shoot.
Right, but that makes it seem really weird that 4 people are eating at a cafe. By the way, they all had dishes in front of them also with some stuff. So
With
they have
like
a platter of
definitely some
muffins.
eating muffins, but I definitely want to know to shut up about the muffins during the episode.
But
Are you
Like, I
judging
think-
them for eating like 3 muffins for
no,
breakfast?
I'm not
Like,
judging them about that. It's just that it's so odd that 4 people are out eating somewhere and they have a platter of muffins between them.
Like, I just think that when you roll up on, like, this coffee shop with, like, the TV cameras, they just give you a bunch of food.
100%. Like,
Maybe
in their best interest. But
yeah.
it takes away from the authenticity.
yeah, that's where we're gonna go with.
This is the thing that's breaking the show down. Is
That's
the
why
bucket
it
of
breaks
muffins.
down. Because who orders a platter of muffins?
Whoa, no. How about this? Maybe in Nashville, at the coffee shops, you like eat the muffin, then you pay for it instead of doing it the opposite. So they just have muffins on the table. So like if they know, like you have a waiter and they just notice you ate one, then they just charge you for it.
No,
First of all,
there's
it
no
seems-
way.
yeah.
No way that's gonna happen. That's just like health inspector.
Why is the health inspector
Thank you,
have
Brian.
anything to do with that?
You're just like leaving muffins out. Like,
Well, maybe they're
uncontrolled.
wrapped.
They were not wrapped.
All right, we got to move on.
No, but I got one last comment.
One last comment on the muffins, though.
That is
Yeah.
literally
I'm the audience right now.
the only thing on the show that makes it very clear this is not authentic.
The only thing on the show that broke your immersion with the show is the platter of muffins.
Everything else, the one-liners, was that stage, how many takes
No
you
way.
do.
You're an insane person. What do you mean?
Even Harrison is saying this, and Harrison believes every reality show is real.
I like to try to let myself believe.
I know, but for Harrison to tell you that you're insane that you think the show is real is like
It's not thinking, it's the only thing that is undoubtedly the proof that this is fake.
All right.
Oh,
On that
man.
note, this competition thing that is so fake.
Oh, yeah.
Like it's just like it's him Savannah, or Todd, Savannah, and what's the guy's name again? Chase are like sitting in the kitchen, and they're like, yeah, we got to do something great for a granddaughter. We keep saying granddaughter because we don't know her name either. Did they even bring her name up on the show?
They definitely did.
Okay. Anyway, the granddaughter, Chloe.
Boom.
Chloe's birthday party, and they're like, "Oh, we're gonna turn it into a competition." And the mom's like, "Don't turn it into a competition. This is, about Chloe, not about you guys."
That was a spot on impression right there.
It's fair. And then this through line goes through the whole episode where they're quote unquote competing, but the mom keeps saying stop competing. But Savannah and Todd do a thing together.
Yeah.
And how are they competing at that point?
Savannah and Todd were a team against Chase and
Grayson.
Yeah.
Yeah, I never got that.
You didn't get that?
Yeah.
I never got
Okay, that's what the competition was. So the one team did the clown stuff, the
So
one team
the
did the magic show.
So the oldest people versus the youngest people.
Correct.
Yeah, for sure. Team
Okay.
old versus team young.
Okay. Because, how old is Chase in this one? Is he 20 now? 21? 22?
In this one, yeah,
Season 6.
Probably around there.
Yeah,
Because he's 15. He's 16
He's
in
at
season
least
1.
at least 16.
Savannah was 15 in season 1 because they made that. They said that.
Okay, so he might be older.
He could have been 17 in season 1 or
17
something like that.
or 8. He's definitely still in high school.
High school
Right.
driving age, so narrows it down.
Yeah. And I'm assuming it's been 6 years.
Yeah,
Is it weird that they still live with their family then?
I don't
Do
think
they
that
do they not live?
do. I think that there was some kind of comment in season 6 about Chase being like, "Hey, you're spending more time here than in Atlanta these days." There's some, I don't know. There's something.
Do
weird
they
about
live in
that.
the Atlanta house but be on the show in Nashville?
Yeah, maybe he lives in Atlanta just for his life because they grew up there and stuff. But now the parents moved to Nashville, so they're shooting
Yeah,
there.
but he's obviously on this show full time, so he's got to have
Well,
a place in Nashville.
Here's the thing about this show. It's not clear to me how long you need to shoot this show for to get a season's worth of content out of it. I think it's very possible you could shoot the show for a month and get a whole season out of it.
Oh,
Or,
the way it's seemingly set up, sure.
Yeah. So
Film this whole episode in a day.
yeah, so you could totally just have him just come out to Nashville for the month and just do it.
Well, this birthday party kind of would be hard to set up, whole thing in a day.
Yeah.
I don't know. Anyway, yeah. So Todd and Savannah do this clown thing. They go to clown school. It was mildly boring.
Yeah, it was whatever.
And then we didn't even get this magic thing. It was Chase was like, "Let me show you this magic trick," and then
They
it was the
downplayed
party,
the magic a lot.
and then it was the party, and then they had some magician kind of just do the magic.
Yeah.
And they
they
were
didn't
just
do the magic at all.
Yeah, and then they were just the
They're the magician's assistants.
the assistants for this thing.
Yeah.
Grayson did nothing.
He was tapping on
He
that
tapped
box
the
with a wand.
Yeah, he was tapping.
Yeah, he did nothing. He's also barely in this episode.
Yeah.
He was
Yeah.
definitely more in season 1 than he was in season 6.
Mhm.
Yeah, he did a good job in episode 1.
Yeah.
And then at the end of so they do the birthday thing, and Chloe picks that she likes the clown thing more. I guess on this clown note, Savannah throughout this whole episode is wearing a ton of makeup.
It's a lot
And
of
then
on
she's
makeup.
in this clown outfit. I was like, I think she's wearing less makeup now than she was before. But that's a mean joke. But I don't know how far off I am.
She was definitely wearing a lot of makeup.
I didn't even notice it.
Yeah.
All right, thanks, Noah.
I did notice that all the parents had a lot of plastic surgery.
Ooh.
Yeah, I'm not great at telling plastic
Todd
surgery.
was all
Yeah,
done.
I don't really know how to.
Grandma.
I don't really know.
So they have a lack of wrinkles around their below their eyelids, and their cheeks are kind of just not moving.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Upper half of your face is kind of unable to express as much emotion.
It's not would not be surprising to me. Knowing Todd seems to have very high aesthetic standards from what we've seen.
Yeah.
All of his children have the whitest possible teeth. He's got this plastic surgery. He is literally hand approved. He says in season 1 he's hand approved every single item of clothing that him and his family wear, which is insanity.
Insane.
The through line through that episode with the clothing store makes that make a lot of sense.
It does, but it's
in
just
context, but it's probably throughout the whole series he's kind of micromanaging these outfits.
It speaks to the level of control.
So we didn't really talk about it, but like he's wearing like crazy like poppin' style outfits. This whole thing. We mentioned one of them.
Especially in season 6. Season 1 is toned down a little bit. Season 6 he's off on
season
Mars.
1 he's not trying to pop as much, but he's trying to be stylish.
For sure, yeah.
But season 6 he's trying to pop and be stylish. Mm-hmm. I think he conflicts a lot on that front.
Varying results, I would say.
Yeah.
Well, it takes away from watching the show. Because you see him come
I
out,
think
you're
that's
like,
one of the
what
appeals
is that?
of this show to people is to see him wear these crazy outfits.
Could be.
At this point, season 6, like one of the best parts of this episode were his outfits.
Like, check out that coat.
You'd think they would say something more about it.
I'm sure I can
never
go
called out.
I'm sure I could go online and find his stuff somewhere.
Do you think there's a subreddit?
No.
Todd Chrisley's fashion.
There is no subreddit community for the show.
There has to be
Really?
one.
Zero subreddit
I
community.
guarantee there's one.
Yeah, they have had a post with like 5 comments on it per episode for like every episode. Like there might be a subreddit, but there's no one on it. Not active. Do not look. Noah, we might need your internet corner on
I
this
think
one.
Brian's in the internet corner right now.
Okay.
But what about all those hot Chrisley Knows best theories? You gotta debate some theories.
So the end of this episode, they go through like the usual like this season on for season 6, and none of it made me want to watch any other episode ever.
You're like,
No.
wow, that looks like a bunch of nonsense.
Yeah, like the mom burnt Todd's pie in the oven.
That happened.
That might be the most interesting thing that happened.
that might have been the most
You
interesting.
burned my pie in the oven.
Oh my god.
There is a subreddit for it.
Oh,
I mean,
It's not very active, though.
How many subscribers?
How many people are looking at it right now?
Okay, let me get this info. Your sidebar. 88 subscribers. 6 users are here now.
6.
Oh!
That's not.
88 though. That's not a lot of community.
88 's
right
not-
there.
now we got to
too
see
big.
the overlap of people in that community and the people that are tweeting with hashtag Broto right now.
Yep.
Find our core audience.
Cross reference.
There was one thread earlier in my Google search results that was Chrisley Knows Best. Why is this even a show?
Fair point.
So, at the end of season 6, episode 1, I was like, this has to be the longest 30-minute reality show we've watched in a long time. Like, the time just stretched on and on and on.
Yeah.
It's just, it's like beyond, it's not, I didn't think it was necessarily boring. It was just so slow.
Yeah.
Maybe it was like the accent. Like I don't know how to explain it.
Could be the well thought out and planned storylines
Could be that.
that were designed perfectly to fit within this time frame.
I don't think. I mean, they're just edited to be in this time frame. Brian, come on. Yeah. So as we go back in time to season 1.
Yeah.
Season 1, episode uno.
I feel like it was more interesting to see with Todd deal with these teenagers than deal with like the kids in season 6.
1000%. Season 1 was a lot more interesting, a lot more tolerable than season 6.
I see what you're saying. It went from like negative like 100 to like negative 95 in terms of how interesting it was, but it's certainly more interesting.
Yeah, I mean, like it's basically just like season 1. It seems like it's a show about a strict dad with high school kids. Like that's kind of what it seems like.
That definitely seems like a more interesting show
than whatever the hell season 6 is. And I don't even know what season 6 is.
I don't know what this whole show is.
Yeah,
let's
sure.
be honest.
Yeah.
Season 6 kind of reminds me of one of the later seasons of the Ozzy Osbourne show.
I don't know if I really got into the later seasons of the Ozzy
I
Osbourne
definitely
show.
have never watched that show.
I forgot what it was called. I know it wasn't called the Osborne.
Yeah.
Osborne family or something.
Yeah.
I guess that's definitely a show we should be putting on our backlog.
That one should be on the backlog.
Yeah, that should be. The most memorable thing of episode 1 was so his son, estranged son. Now there's this like really brief clip with him.
Yeah, we talked about it briefly.
You talking about that like he's estranged, but it doesn't what Todd did. So he says, "Yeah, I found him sleeping with a married woman. I had 2 private security guards pick him up, put him on an airplane to Samoa to do volunteer work for 9 months."
Yeah.
That is
insane.
Yeah,
He's a crazy person. It seems like
He seems real crazy.
he's definitely crazy. Like, it's insane to watch him season 1 be this crazy controlling dad, crazy controlling businessman about businesses, to season 6 where he's just like, "Hey mom, your pantyhose is falling down. Like, oh, you can't work out with this guy, he's too hot." Like, how does this dude transform from this, like, and like the mom is the one actually doing the parenting? It's just like such a flip.
it seems like they got away from like the thing that was the reason why they made this show, which is like this strict dad that's trying to run this family, and like now he's just hamming it up and like doing all kinds of crazy stuff.
A lot of ham.
So yeah.
It can't be this. I see it's ham, but it's so bad.
Yeah.
I mean,
like,
they must have found out that was like their niche, right? I think
what
the
niche?
audience that was getting attracted, they wanted more.
Who watches the show?
They just wanted more weird family antics, like silly family antics.
Had to be, right?
The market research doesn't lie.
I don't know. I don't understand.
It got so skewed in that direction. So he's probably like, I'm making a boatload of money off of this now.
Oh yeah, he doesn't have to run another business now that he has this TV show.
Don't seem like he is.
Really does not seem like he has any kind of a job in season 6, but it's not clear.
Correct. He's
Yeah,
home all day.
He's definitely
just kind of
He's definitely not running a department store.
Hell
I'll
no.
tell you that much.
No.
Yeah. So I mean, I guess we talk about this. So like throughout season 1, episode 1, it's all about them talking about opening this department store and how they're putting 30%. 35% of their wealth into this department store.
They're putting like $3.5 million into this department store.
And he's like he's making comments about like, oh, it's got to be big. I'm going to get all the couches. I'm going to get all the stuff. He's talking with this other person that's going to do probably all the work.
The buyer.
yeah.
That he's going to buy all the clothes for this department store or whatever. And it's nowhere to be seen in season 6.
Yeah. So we're
it's just like, what the fuck?
So I was curious about this, and I looked it up because I'm like, hey, I wonder if this department store, I wonder how many stores they have now or whatever, because he's talking about it being some big department store brand, some kind of chain. And not only does it not exist anymore, but it never existed ever. They never opened any stores. They never opened their first store. And apparently, like, when the events of like the end of season 1 are going on and they're supposedly like leasing the space for this department store, it's around the same time that he's going through a bankruptcy, which is what.
How do you get the show made while you're going through bankruptcy?
That's probably why he got the show made.
That could be. Who knows?
Why? Like, what do you mean? Like, I don't. Like, oh, I'm going through bankruptcy, so let me spend this money on making an 8-episode TV reality show?
This guy doesn't seem
The guy's not funding this show.
Yeah.
Like Chrisley is not paying for the production of this show, right?
I don't know if this is a 1-800-Ask Gary situation.
I don't. My read on is not a 1-800-Ask Gary situation. I was looking for his name in the executive producer list, and I didn't see it, but.
That's crazy that this show is like, how is the producer from, it's on UPS or something?
USA?
USA. They're the same.
Gets delivered
the
to your door
delivery
every day.
service.
Whatever. They're pretty similar. They deliver
They
stuff.
deliver shows now.
Yep.
They deliver garbage right to your doorstep.
Oh man, harsh. Like, I want to know what the producers from that network, how this show got set up. I really like.
It's got to be something like somebody met this dude at some event and they're just like, you're an insane person.
He doesn't.
Maybe
seem
we should
that
make a show
like,
about you.
He's insane, but he's not like overly insane.
He is not a crazy personality. Like, you meet them and you're like, wow, this guy's off his rocker. But probably if you talk with him for like more than 5-10 minutes, to be like, oh, what did you do today? Well, I read all my son's text messages because, and you're like, oh boy,
like. All it takes is him explaining his surveillance of his children, how he manages his kids. Be like, guess what? I got trackers on all my kids' cars. I got trackers on all their phones. I can see all their text messages. I'm monitoring all their computer traffic. There was literally a scene in the show where, like, the Chase is looking at some porn on his computer, and it pops up on the dad's screen. He's like, oh, Chase is looking at porn. He goes upstairs. It's like, what the fuck are you doing? And takes the laptop and throws it in the pool.
That was so set up that, like,
I know.
I can't, like, I get it.
But like it's those kinds of stories that I'm sure he tells people
100%.
that, like, the right person heard that story and there's like, we gotta learn more about this situation.
I think the biggest difference is when we see crazy people on other reality shows, they're not as articulate as him. Like,
he is pretty articulate,
right.
I mean, as you mentioned with his one-liners, he's pretty good.
Yeah, exactly. He just says crazy shit in an articulate manner.
I don't know. I get it. I just don't get the show. Like, at all.
Then you don't get it.
I don't get it. Like, it was a big deal in the first episode about how he's controlling his kids.
Yeah.
I mean, that was the other through line through this episode was like, he's like got, nanny software on the computers, apparently. There was a thing in the pool. He like has trackers on the car. And the big thing that happened this episode was that Chase goes to this football game when, Todd says no. No, he's like 17, 18.
Right.
And like Todd just says, no, you can't go because there's a girl there, essentially. And he's like, no, I played that game in high school, not on my watch or whatever. I'm like, that's not a good excuse not to let your kid go to a game, like the game.
There's all, yeah.
Like if you catch him going to not the game, like to her house or something, then like you got some problems.
He's definitely not a reasonable person. He also mentions in this episode how like hot his high school son is and how he's got to watch out for him getting all the girls because he's too hot, basically. It's so crazy. Like,
he is overly sexual with his family. Like, there's a lot of boundaries being stepped over.
A lot of boundaries.
Definitely.
Maybe it's a Southern thing.
Maybe
the overt sexuality.
I don't know. It doesn't like this dude is just crazy.
I think he's just a crazy dude.
Yeah.
So like after Chase goes to the football game, they have this scene like terrible acting. I don't know, with Chase and Dad be like, I told you not to go and you went and you're a terrible kid or something. It was like so awkward.
He's
like it was like
I left you a present.
It felt like it took like 5 minutes, but I'm sure it was only like 30 seconds.
It's like, well, I'm gonna do what I gotta do, and he's like, well, I'm gonna do what I gotta do.
Yeah, it was like so awkward.
Yeah.
And then you find out that Todd put like a boot on his car and like put on a whatever the lock thing is.
Yeah.
On the steering wheel.
It's called The Club.
The Club.
I
knew it was a famous name, but I couldn't pick it up.
I have one. Well,
Yeah, you do?
my girlfriend has one.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
I was about to ask, do they still have them?
Oh.
Yeah,
Great.
we actually used it the other day.
Noah,
Due to some garage issues.
Oh no.
so Noah thinks that he has one, but it's not his.
It's not
And-
mine.
and
Well,
interesting.
I first wanted to say, like, oh, should I mention it? Yeah. But
Interesting. Like the situation is just so contrived.
Oh yeah.
Anything else interesting happened in the first episode? I feel like we got an introduction to the older daughter that wasn't in season 6.
Yep.
She has crazy hair in this show.
Yeah, it was like that high ponytail thing.
I couldn't tell. It was just like
I do like the first grader, Grayson.
yeah, he was in the season 6.
He made a dick joke.
Well,
that was pretty good.
He wanted to go to Hooters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, pretty good kid.
And then he had this also this crazy closet that was separated by season.
Oh, that's true.
Oh gosh.
Can you explain the closet, Brian?
So
that's the explanation.
yeah, I mean, it's just like closets that is basically a room and has a table in the center, and it's organized by season because
This room, by the way, is like bigger than most people's like 1-bedroom apartments. Like the whole apartment,
Yeah.
including the bedroom. It is ginormous.
yeah, it's definitely bigger than like a studio.
And like the whole wall is just covered in like hanging like clothes, and he's like, yeah, it's based on season. I'm like, why? Well, just put some clothes away when it's not summer. Like in the winter, you don't need to see the
No,
summer
but
clothes.
he loves displaying all those clothes. He's like, this is my fall section. It's my summer section.
Yeah, but every year you got to buy the new fashion. So like, what's the point? Like,
That's
you can't
true.
have summer clothes from last summer. You throwing those clothes away.
You're definitely right because I saw nothing like season 6 in season 1 closet.
That's true.
Yeah,
He
just-
said he spends $300,000 to $400,000 a year on clothes.
100,000?
He said that in the show.
Did he really?
definitely said
didn't-
that.
I don't
That
remember
is so
quote.
much money to spend on clothes.
I
He-
feel like he didn't say that.
I'm going to go to the internet corner for a little bit just to prove this.
I mean, yeah, even if it's like 40,000, like that's
Like,
still an
I could
insane
definitely
amount.
see him spending a ton of money on clothes. Like in season 6, he was like every scene he was wearing something different that is not cheap clothes.
Do you think you primed that like crazy ass tracksuit? Like, there's no way you'd have that before this, right?
I mean, that you definitely buying that tracksuit for this show.
okay, just to confirm, he did say that.
Okay,
100,000. Oh my god.
he said 300,000 to 400,000.
Correct.
Yeah, but like,
So is that pre-show or post-show?
This is the first up. 1-1. He says this.
Jesus.
So this dude goes through bankruptcy, but spends like $400K. in
That's why
clothes.
he's going through bankruptcy. Part of the reason, probably, I would guess.
we
Don't
figured out the mystery. Let's pack it in, boys.
You see how big that house is? He's spending $400,000 a year on clothes. Not
Whoa.
a
And
great
he
recipe.
moved.
Season 6, that house is considerably bigger than season 1.
It's also
Was it?
in Nashville.
Yeah.
It's gotta be
They
cheaper.
moved to Nashville from wherever the hell season 1
Atlanta.
was. And that house is considerably bigger.
Right, they said in opening, we live in a gated community with Usher and Chipper Jones.
Yeah. Oh, they really name dropped Chipper Jones.
Oh, yeah.
As a real Atlanta
Is
kind
that
of move.
like a downgrade for Usher? Like, oh, damn it, these fucking reality show fuckers in next
100%.
door.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Like, Usher's like, I gotta move. Usher's gotta move at that point.
Usher's got to
There
be
goes the neighborhood.
unreasonably wealthy because he gets that Justin Bieber money.
How much of a cut? Like, does he get a cut of all Justin Bieber money, or just like the early stuff that he kind of?
I just assume
Facilitated.
he's like a producer, right? He's on his label. I assume.
I have no idea.
Yeah, I'm not sure, but like he just seems like that would put you in like a different echelon of wealth if you are.
Oh yeah, if you're getting that Justin Bieber money.
Yeah, it's like Chrisley was saying he makes millions a year. Like that would be
Yeah, there's no
Tens of
reason
millions,
for
at least.
Usher to live next to a millionaire. He should be
No.
living next to like, he's got a like 500 millionaires is where he needs to be living next to. Like he has enough money.
yeah.
I mean, I'm kind of done with the show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like this show just felt so long. Like I can't tell you a show that felt longer at this point.
Real Housewives of New Jersey would like to have a word.
It's been so long though. It's been like 3 years since we watched that. I remember it being
It
long.
feels like just yesterday.
I didn't even think it was that long though. I was just like,
Oh.
it's a half-hour show, but like it was still so mind-numbingly stupid that
Yeah, exactly. It felt like it was a half-hour show that felt like an hour. So I felt like we watched 2 hours of TV.
really, oh
Yeah,
my
yeah.
god.
Some may say that gives you a lot of bang for your buck.
Yeah.
Oh my god. All right. Noah, give me the ranking. Give it to me.
I'm gonna put this in middle of the bottom third. This isn't like on the ground for me because it wasn't. I didn't find it as excruciating as you did.
I mean, to be put on the bottom, I mean, it's, it's tough.
no, it's the middle of the bottom.
No, I'm just saying, like, I could,
Yeah,
I don't know. Stack ranking into ninths isn't like so hard. Stack ranking into thirds, reasonable. Ninths is like,
It's tough.
Just like how you cut a pizza,
For
dude.
me, the show,
Just like
there were shows we've watched that were a lot worse. Like any of the property finding type shows.
No, those are better.
Then why don't you put this higher? Like, if you feel like those shows are below this, those
There's
shows
a
are definitely
lot.
not.
We've
bottom to
only
bottom.
ever done like 2 property shows, essentially, 2 or
And they were
3.
excruciating for Noah. Like,
Yeah.
Noah, have you seen Tiny House Hunters?
No, but I'd like to.
Yeah. Anyway, so
Anyway, so yeah, not a great show. Probably wouldn't watch again, but if it was on, I wouldn't look
I
away.
can't believe you would say that. I like literally can't believe it.
I am intrigued
Like
how this
if,
developed.
If somebody is watching that, I'm going in the other room. Like I'm like I am gonna go sit on a stool in another room staring at paint dry.
And stools suck. They don't have any.
Hey, Chris, you want to give us your rating?
Bottom of the bottom. This is guaranteed top bottom of the season. I like
Guaranteed top bottom.
Man,
it's on the bottom 5 for sure of this season. Like I
started from the bottom.
I can't. I'm like that's all I have to say about this show.
It's not great, Chris.
All right.
Harrison, what do you got?
I'm gonna say this is gonna be a bottom third show for me as well. I can't imagine watching it again. It's
I can't imagine this show existing. There's got to be some money laundering or something going on with this show.
Something's happening.
Like there's questionable things happening, but this show exists.
You know, like I can see how season 1, like I can see how some people would have gotten hooked on season 1.
Like when I say that, I just mean like I could see season 1. I can maybe even see season 2 to be like, oh, people kind of like the show. You know, it was only 8 episodes season 1, by the way.
Yeah.
So like, let's order a full season. You know, maybe it'll work. Maybe it won't. I don't know. But season 6, like, no.
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy.
Like this is like soap opera territory for me. Like,
Yeah.
this better be on during the day. You got to be like, this has got to be hard target at moms or something. Like,
As far
but
as
it's not.
as far as cost of reality shows to make, this is
Yeah.
at the bottom. This costs nothing to make.
You
this
think
show.
so?
Totally.
Well, Mr. People think that there's writers here. That's not bottom of the barrel.
I guess
there's
that's
still writers
true.
for the reality shows, and they also have other stuff going on. This has nothing going on in all the writers.
I feel like it's produced pretty well. Like
It
like the
is. The
camera
actual-
work is pretty well.
The actual
Yeah, the
production of
camera's
it,
good.
the actual production of it is pretty bare bones. Though you just get like 1 or 2 camera dudes in a house and you're shooting. I mean, it's pretty.
But
bare
I feel
bones.
like it's produced pretty well. Like in terms of like setting up all these plot lines and through lines. Like
sure.
it's boring and dull because the people in them are like they're not actors.
Yeah.
So
There's
that's
stuff-
why the
yeah.
show is bad.
Somebody,
but I feel like it's produced real. It's not cheap.
somebody definitely
No.
sat down and wrote a bunch of things for them to do, and then they did them.
Yeah,
I mean, that's certainly.
staff on this is not that small because actually they had different camera angles. The lighting's good. Like there's definitely
okay,
a crew.
they had 2 cameramen. Sure.
I'm
no,
just
but
saying,
the
like-
lighting, boom, like there's
I
definitely
don't
a crew.
know. I don't know.
I feel like there's probably more people working on this than like the challenge.
hate
I
the
definitely
challenge.
don't think that's true.
Like the challenge isn't produced nearly as well. Like
The costs of producing the challenge have to be higher than this.
yeah, because they're sending people.
They're
to,
sending
like,
people
location.
to places. They're building out houses. They're building out sets. They're doing all this shit. Like they're doing things.
All right,
they're
all right.
I was just
That's
thinking
an
about the
exaggeration, but I don't think this is a very cheap reality show.
yeah. I just like they don't need to build anything. It's all about just like writing the thing and getting a camera guy. In
I
there
feel
to
like
shoot it.
you're underestimating how much work it takes to make the show look this good
No. I mean,
and
of course.
write this show.
of
Like,
course they have a competent set of people shooting the thing so it looks good. But like,
All right, Ryan, give me a ranking here.
Top of the top, no.
he's going to the top.
It's definitely like middle of the bottom because, I mean, I would also have this on in the background just for the stupid fucking one-liners. They're too good and too bad.
All of your lying.
That's a good
you
point, Brian.
never put this on.
I'm not gonna put it on. I absolutely not. Like if I've flipped through the channels and I saw and like it was the only thing on, like I don't know, I couldn't like pop on a naked dating show or some shit. Then this is still going on.
I can't envision the scenario.
I can't. I literally can't imagine you not walking out of the room if this is on. Or like if it's on at a hospital or something, you're like, can you change the channel? Like I can't imagine it.
The thing is, like, you don't even have to watch it. It's just on in the background.
Doesn't matter. Watch a Twitch stream. Watch somebody play like Civ 6 in silence. It sounds more exciting.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, whatever.
All right, we're moving on.
Yeah.
Harrison, any challenge update? You updated?
Well,
with the
I
challenge?
think before we get into some of these updates, we should give a special shout out here.
Oh yeah.
Loyal listeners of the show will probably realized that Rob hasn't been here for the past few weeks.
Yep.
We just wanted to share with the audience that Rob and his wife, friend of the pod, Emmy,
she's been on the pod.
has been on the pod
Friend of the
couple of
pod.
times. Friend of the pod has been had a beautiful baby girl. So congratulations to Rob and Emmy. And,
Mazel tov.
Hopefully we'll have you back on the pod soon.
Yeah. It's great. Congratulations. Anyone else? No?
I'm not up to date on the challenge,
You're
so
not up
I
to date on the
unfortunately
challenge?
can't give an update there. It's not worth watching the off seasons. I'm going to maintain that.
I popped the episode 1 on the side while I was doing something, and I was like, nope.
There's
It's The Miz, not good.
there's certainly the Miz is garbage. There's been a little more strategy on this season than there have been on some of the previous celebrity seasons.
I feel like the
But-
mixing of the teams is a good idea, but then you get the usual challenge BS about like, oh, you got to kick off the beginning people,
Yeah.
right? Which is like, it's kind of shitty in general.
Yeah. The best thing to come out of this spinoff. So the last couple of seasons, they've had this cast member, Luis, who's an Olympic hurdler for Great Britain, who's been on there, and she's been like a really really good personality on there, and like she's been getting into that dirty strategy a bunch, and like I'd love to see them get her on a real season of the challenge and see how that goes. But yeah.
I mean, the challenge subreddit hasn't seemed to be like this season sucks, but I feel like the amount of chatter is probably just down way less than like a
Challenge subreddit is hunger for any content. You gotta
There's
think.
so many posts on like old seasons of the challenge. Like I just watched Rivals; it was amazing, and I was like,
Yeah.
"What?"
I really want to get into the challenge subreddit, but I'm really worried about spoilers in there because like there's
They're pretty. I haven't run into any spoilers.
okay.
So when a regular challenge season is on, I've never been spoiled. There's like they'll have like a thread like spoiling, season 33 or 32
Sure.
or whatever, and you just don't click on that one.
Gotcha.
And I think the moderators must be pretty good because I don't see any.
That's good.
So feel free to jump on the challenge subreddit
Yeah.
with punity. Okay.
There you go.
What
What else?
I've been watching Legion actually.
Tell me a little bit about Legion because I've heard some good things, but I don't know a lot about it.
I don't know if it's gonna make it past season 2, but it is this crazy show about a mutant in the X-Men universe that has insane powers. He's like the most powerful person like in the world. Like essentially, he can manipulate reality in any way he sees fit, and he can like read minds. He's just like if you wanted any power, he almost has it.
It's like the guy
it's-
in Avengers Infinity.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
like having the Infinity Gauntlet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the through line is that there's this Shadow King guy, and he messes with the main character is David, and like it's all about like David is the main character, and he's like an unreliable narrator because this other, I already said Shadow King, but like you don't really know who he is at the beginning, is manipulating him, and you don't really know what's going on, and it scratches the same itch that Westworld does, where like what is going on in this world, and it's like filmed beautifully. It's like it's very much kind of like a comic as you go along. There's like different chapters, and like you're just trying to like get pieces of the story as it goes along, and it's very interesting, and it's like has that same like there's this mystery going on, but it's got another layer of just like where Westworld just tries to saying stuff about humanity and family, and like tries to get into this like human, what it means to be human. This kind of goes in the direction of like, what are you seeing is real? What is real? Especially in this world where this character can manipulate reality, it's like he can do things. Is that real, or is he not seeing things that are real? It's very questionable. Like, you're just trying to question what's going on. And I noticed that a lot of these shows are very spoon-fed to us. And with these two shows, Westworld and Legion, that I like kind of crave for not being spoon-fed.
It's cool to hear that they execute it well, because like sometimes when you get some of these shows where it's like there's some character that can just alter the nature of reality, it gets kind of hard to make that show like and have it be reasonable to watch.
I 100% understand, and like it's not really about his powers, but he can do things that like no one else can do. So it's like he's very important to the world to like accomplish some tasks. So you can't just be like, well, give him medicine to make him like not insanely powerful anymore because you need him.
You need him.
But then there's also like other people around that just kind of have it like there's just insane things happening all the time because there's just people with powers, and like it's something Westworld or other shows can't do or don't do well.
Gotcha.
Where do you go to watch a show?
It's on FX. FX.
Gotcha.
Got the shows.
Yeah.
FXX got the movies.
Shows.
Yeah.
Season 1 was really good. Season 2, I feel like is going up and down, but I'm really excited to see where it goes and start watching it because I hear the ratings aren't great. So hopefully,
okay.
I don't know. They added another episode to season 2, so I don't know if they're like, no, they're not coming back or not.
Is this stuff placed in the Marvel universe at all, or is it?
It's a Marvel
is it X-Men, but is it the X-Men side of that stuff, or is it the MCU side of that stuff?
It's the X-Men
side of it.
It's like all the X-Men TV shows are separate, so like
right.
They're not in the same world.
Gotcha. Okay.
Kind of most of the Marvel stuff are kind of in their own world too. Like,
yeah, I mean, but like some of that stuff on Netflix is theoretically in the same world, right?
Yeah, like a Avengers 1 world, and then like that's it. Like a post Avengers 1, and then like
yeah.
I would love for them to like just like Daredevil is such a great character to like be in one of these movies.
It is kind of fucked up that none of these TV Marvel people are in any of these movies.
Yeah,
like
even like a small cameo of the three of them.
Yeah, it's like
Luke Cage definitely, or
like
the Iron Fist is definitely needs to.
You'd think
they need to drop him.
You'd think that they want to drop like Jessica Jones in one of these movies. She's been in like that show's done very well. Like from what I
don't know. Netflix doesn't release any numbers to me, so I don't.
Yeah. Well, at least I hear a lot of people saying that they watch it and like it.
Season 1 was really good.
Yeah.
I'm still working my way through season 2.
There you go.
I think it's starting to pick up towards the end, but like, I don't understand why we always have to get the backstory of like a popular character. Like, it happens with Wolverine all the time. It was like X-Men 1 introduced Wolverine, X-Men 2. It's essentially let's go back to Wolverine's origin with, Weapon X. Then they make X-Men Origins Wolverine. I'm like, didn't we do this already? Like,
everyone loves a good origin story, though.
No, that's not true.
It's
I mean, Spider-Man Homecoming definitely made it apparent that we don't always need the backstory of character.
Yeah, I mean, we got the Spider-Man origin story in that one. I mean, it's a different Spider-Man origin story, but...
So, like, Jessica Jones, season 1 is about her, like, kind of using her powers. And, like, season 2 doesn't have to be, like... You don't need to know where she got her powers. And that's what season 2 is about.
Sure, yeah. You don't have to know.
Well, she doesn't know. And she didn't seem all that interested in finding out before season 1. So like, oh, now, after I've dealt with this crazy guy, now I can figure out how I got my powers. Like, now is the perfect time.
You might be curious.
I mean, you're always curious, but like, it just seems like that's an easier, convenient story to do. and I'd rather them do something more interesting because I didn't think it was that interesting. Maybe if they did a better job, I wouldn't have said that.
Right.
Like, I mean, it does kind of put a bow on her like family / histories. I mean, probably by the end of the season, so maybe I don't know.
Yeah. Well,
and obviously Westworld.
Westworld. So let's not spend 30 minutes talking about like we did last week. We should talk about it a little bit at least. We got a little bit crazy last week.
Did we?
It's okay. It's okay. It's okay though.
This episode was great. It was way better than episode 3.
Agreed.
I think that one of the best episodes of the show, I think.
Yeah, it was, yeah.
With Mr. What's his name? Delos? Mr. Delos?
Delos.
That whole thing is, yeah, that's definitely a game changer.
Yeah, okay. So we're going to spoil some Westworld here. So follow us on Twitter at Who Put This On. Find us on Facebook.com/Who Put This On. Email us questions, suggestions, whoputthison@gmail.com. As you can tell by this episode, suggestions come and we do them.
Yeah.
At least eventually they get added to the queue.
Yeah.
And I want to know who you think the real human, the other like pseudo human is. So you got like the Mr. Delos style human. There's another one.
Because of the brain thing that
Bernard
picked up in the lab.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I think, it's either Ford or it's Arnold.
I don't think there's any chance it's Ford because I think it's lazy storytelling, and that this show doesn't do that.
I guess. I don't know. It would explain why Ford was so willing to put this plan in motion and have himself be killed by Dolores because he knew that he could live forever in a robot body.
It would undermine his like thing in season 1 where it was like he definitely had quotes about like legacy and death, and like you would undermine that whole plot line by having him come back.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe. But like I agree with you that I don't think that it's him. One, because I think it might be too obvious. Too many people would guess it. And then
maybe they think that so that they think that so you don't think that, and then they do it.
Could be. But like it also seemed like Delos was like conducting all these other experiments in labs that were not known to Ford or the Westworld people, is what it seems like.
Right.
So it seems like Ford didn't know this stuff was going on.
I think Ford knew.
I mean, like, I guess he kind of half knew because he's going around terraforming the whole place all the time.
Yeah.
Like,
Ford knows
run one of these labs.
Everything that happened in that park.
But like,
everything.
It does seem like that. Like, hey, this is like
a Delos board project. This is not my thing.
This is the bigger game that Delos is playing here with whatever they're doing.
Well, there's definitely a piece where Ford is dealing with the park, and that's his thing. And Delos, Man in Black, and William or whatever have their own thing where they're like collecting user data, and they're apparently trying to live forever.
Yeah,
like I don't think Ford's like in charge of that.
He's not. Well, yeah, it was definitely not in charge. It doesn't. I don't think he's in charge of that. I mean, I'll definitely agree. It doesn't seem like he's as interested in immortality, and
so it would be really weird to have Ford do that.
Yeah,
I think it might be William against his will, like, and he shows up as young William to old William, which I think would be an interesting.
That'd be kind of crazy.
Like,
yeah,
because like young William definitely would have wanted this, and old William doesn't want this. Like as the progression through time in this episode, as William shows up to talk to Mr. Delos, it seems like he's like more. He's so inclined in the beginning, but at the end he's like, this is a terrible idea. This is a terrible mistake.
The William is definitely a hybrid.
You think so?
Like current day Man in Black William?
I think all the way back. It's so odd that he continues to stay in Westworld. Right? And like so previously in the first season you think he's just like this rich guy and just keeps paying to be there. But now we discover he actually works for them.
Yeah, but he owns it. Well, basically, at this point.
He owns it.
Yeah.
And he's trying to go find something. And so the question, I think, is going to be answered, like, what is he actually trying to go find? Which then, like, loops around this whole story. Like,
Yeah.
it's just unnatural. Like, why does he keep living in Westworld? And only people that would do that is people that have a narrative, right? How they say in the show.
I don't think
And I think
so.
that's his
I
narrative.
think that would undermine the whole show. I don't think that's it at all.
It is also unclear to me how much time William is spending in Westworld doing like Westworld missions. Like,
Right.
It's kind of unclear in the
I
scope of the show
feel
how much time
like-
he's there for.
William in the show, his motivations are when he first goes there, he finds himself, and now that he's like retiring from the company because he's getting old, he's like, oh well, I can spend my retirement in Westworld and just have fun. Like,
It doesn't seem like he's having fun.
he is definitely having fun, like 100%. He's like,
Yeah.
he's trying to find something. He's trying to find himself. He's trying to remember finding himself. Like, that's what he's doing in the park.
But that sounds like a narrative from one of the robots of trying to remember something,
No,
right?
I think that would undermine the whole show. 100% undermine the whole show to have William be a robot. Like, how do you have a show about what makes you to be human when there's no humans in the show?
Yeah, what about Elsie though?
Elsie's a robot. Like, if William's a robot, Elsie's a robot.
That's obviously the thing with this whole show is that it's you'll never know who's a robot and who's not a
no,
robot. But
that's not what the show's about.
I mean, it's definitely part of the show.
It's definitely the first
it's part of the
season
show.
was mainly about that.
No, I don't. William is not a robot. Ford is not coming back as a robot. Guarantee.
Okay. I don't know. We're gonna find out.
Brian, you were weigh in on this?
Well, I originally thought like, oh yeah, like there, Man in Black was a robot. Sorry, human, and then the William was a robot. But then you took it a step further, like, oh, they'll meet. That was awesome.
No, I think that, so William is trying to find the door. That's what Ford has set him out to do, is find the door.
Yeah.
So I could totally see the door being the solution to potentially this like hybrid problem. Like, because they couldn't figure it out with Mr. Delos. So like,
Yeah.
similar to the maze, where the maze is how the hosts like figure out how
Reach
to
consciousness. Yeah. Like, I mean, I can certainly see that, and like, I don't really know how this whole clone. I'm gonna call it a clone because I guess that's kind of what it is, right?
Yeah.
Like, I don't really know how it works. Like, I don't know if it's like the mind is dependent on the body being the same or anything like that, or like if now like the minds of all these hosts are just interchangeable and then everything's really fucked up.
Well,
'Cause, I mean,
the hosts, I could imagine you could change bodies. I feel like these hybrids probably not.
I don't know. Like, I mean, it seems like there's something to like. It seems like there's something about like not just wanting to shove another like the one person's personality into another body. Like, there's something weird going on there.
Isn't
right?
that the whole
Like,
thing with Dolores and Wyatt?
No, I mean,
Yeah.
Wyatt never really existed.
It's kind of like a Dolores storyline, but it's super weird. I
Like,
don't know.
the Wyatt Dolores is like like Dolores merged with Wyatt at
Is-
some point.
I don't know. Like, it's all really confusing.
Welcome to Westworld.
Welcome to Westworld.
I also think it might be Bernard as the hybrid. I feel like the
Arnold,
fact
you mean? Oh no, like that Bernard is a hybrid. I
or
think
no, Bernard is a regular host
Okay.
so season 1 Bernard host.
Okay.
So season 2, when we see Bernard like in that post season 1 stuff, like in that timeline, it's Bernard, but I think it might be where it shows like the flash forward kind of stuff. That might be Arnold.
Yeah. I mean, like, I think it's certainly possible that it's Arnold or something. I don't know. I mean,
It could be anyone. I don't know. I still think it like a very high possibility of it being William, because William says that at some point in the season that he needs to go fix his greatest mistake, which the greatest mistake might be current William doesn't want to live forever, right? He says death has to matter. Death is important. So like if he ever set this program up to copy himself, that would be his greatest mistake. Or at least he might theoretically think that is his greatest mistake.
yeah.
So
Man.
there's my Westworld 2 cents for this
All right.
week.
Waste
Yeah.
World.
And rate us on iTunes, guys. I already gave the spiel. So
Yeah.
iTunes.
Hit us on that social media.
That's social. The socials. Maybe we should get a Snapchat.
Should we get a Snapchat?
We get Snap while we're watching the shows.
Ooh, I wish that Snap lets you have multiple profiles in the app. That'd
Just
be
get
nice.
a burner phone.
Get that burner phone.
We need that. We'll just hook it up to my iPad. We'll hook it up to like your iPad or something.
Yeah.
All right. Well, next week I think we might be off. Maybe we'll put a best of out.
Stay tuned to our Twitter for updates.
Oh man, that's a big.
I just promised a Twitter update.
You did.
It's on the record.
All right. We'll catch you guys later.